Hey guys, my name is Patricia. I'm with All Things Art Silhouette, Cameo, and with Silhouette Class for Beginners. Today I'll be teaching you how to create your own bag topper. It's pretty simple. As you can see in the corner, I have my recording on as well. That way you guys can see exactly what I'm doing on screen and also on my silhouette itself. And so we're going to go ahead on and get started. I'm going to draw a square. And that square, I want it to be 4 inches by 4 inches. And as you can see there, it already has a gradient color because I will be using gradient, as you can see here. I'm going to go to the top and I'm going to put in 4. And then I'm going to go to the top again to height and put in 4. And you're going to see it go to 4 by 4 inches. Now, as you can see, this is pretty much what it's showing as far as color variation. It's showing a gradient color, but I don't want to use that gradient color, that particular gradient color. So I'm going to go back in and I'm going to grab something that I want to use myself and possibly create my own. I don't want that one. Uh-oh, I'm sorry. It deleted something. And I thought it was going to delete this one, but it didn't delete that. I got to turn off of it. Okay, now it should do it. Okay, well, we won't use that one because I really don't want the white, so we're not going to use that one. We're going to use this one. I don't want the white and I don't want that dark blue, so we're going to go in where it has that dark blue or it looks black. I don't want to use that dark blue or that black, so I'm going to hover my mouse over where the plus sign with the little O, and I'm going to pull it over so that I can kind of grab my own color. And I'm going to go over just a little bit, and I like that blue, so I'm going to go with that blue. I'm going to take this one, bring it over some. I don't want the white, so we're going to change the white and we're going to go in and try to get another blue, capture another blue. And I think I kind of like that blue. So we're going to stick with that color. We have it at 4 inches by 4 inches, but of course we need to put a perforation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to try to get my perforation. I'm going to try to do it from this line. And as you can see, you see something going up and down. I always use those. I can't think of what it's called, but I always use it because it helps you to figure out where your lines are. And I'm going to click on it again because it's out too far. So I'm going to bring it back in. It's called the hairlines. That's what it is. And I couldn't think of it for nothing. It's like my mind went blank. Okay, now we have the line. I don't want that line. I want perforation. That's pretty much up to you, how you want to do your perforations. If you want to do perforation when you do your fold, or you don't want to do perforation when you do your fold, that's entirely up to you. That's entirely up to you. Also, what you want to remember, I'm gonna go ahead on and set this page up because I should have set that up in the beginning of the video, but I didn't. I'm gonna set the page up, and I'm gonna put on, and of course you know it's supposed to be 8.5 by 11 unless you have your own unless you have a printer that cuts or print 12 by 12. So I set it up to 8.5 by 11, which is here. And of course you know when you're using registration marks, you got to go within that within the rims of the registration mark. So of course, here's my registration marks. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to bring it on the side, and I'm going to change the line style color on it because I actually want it black. Okay, now that it's black, I put it to the side. Now I have my my web. The web is so skinny. It's tiny, tiny. Some people may use it like this. I won't use it like that. I'm going to trace it because I want to make sure my lines are thicker. So I'm going to trace it. And then I'm going to go up on my threshold to make sure that I got all my lines and they're detailed. and I'm going to click trace. Now that I've traced it, I pull that on the side. We're going to change all the colors. And then, of course, I want to make it thicker. I want to make my lines thicker. So in order to do that, as you can see here, I can go up on the thickness here. And so I'm just going to bring it down because that's too thick. And I think I'm going to keep it about there. I'm going to place it on here. And it appears to be too big, so I'm going to bring it down some. Then I want to make sure that it's centered, so I'm going to go to my center panel, and I center it. Now it's centered. As you can see, it's centered. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to take it off. I don't like the angle. I don't like the angle of my gradient. So I'm going to go back to my gradients, and I'm going to change the angle of my gradient. I want the dark blue to the bottom. So as you can see, when I click on it, it's changing it. I want it to the bottom. You can use your arrows. And if you can see right now, it's going straight across here, and the darker area is here. If I go up, it's going to come around. If I go down, it's going to come around. And now it pretty much looks like it's going straight across is what I wanted it to do. And now it gives it a better look for me. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to place my web back. I also want to do my line style color because I don't want that line style to be red. So I changed the color. And I just changed it to blue. You can go in here and mess with it and change it. That's entirely up to you. I just put it there, the line style color, I just placed it there. Now I'm going to go back, and I want my spider. As you can see, I have Spider-Man, and it's the same thing like this spider, the spider web. It actually was PNG. So I want to trace it. I'm going to go to my modified panel. I'm sorry, not my modified, my trace panel. Select trace area. Go to threshold because I want to make sure I get everything on the edges. And then I'm going to click trace outer edge. When I click trace outer edge, there you can see all of the trace outer edge. I'm going to bring it back up, bring them both together. Now I'm going to go to my modify, and I'm going to crop it. What happened was when I cropped that, when I did that, now I'm getting rid of anything that was excess that was on the outside because it was a PNG and it made a block. I got rid of that block that it had. Now, in order to make this my Spider-Man stand out, I'm going to do an offset, and I'm going to do that offset with white. And you may not be able to see it. That red line is too dark, so I'm going to put it at 20, and I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to go up to the top, change it to white. My line style and my fill style panel, they're both going to be white. I'm going to group it, and as you can see now, it's white. I'm going to right click, duplicate. We're going to flip horizontally, and we're going to flip vertically. And doing so, what it did was now I can place it, and they both kind of look like they belong together. And now I'm going to write some text. I have TJ's 5th birthday. I'm going to change the color to red. I want the red. I'm going to change the color to red. As you can see, it's red. And so that it stands out a little bit, I'm going to also change my do an offset on it so that it stands out a little bit. So I'm going to do an offset. And that offset color, we're going to do white. I'm going to change this to, well, actually it can stay at 0.050, but we're going to change it to white. Okay, now what I have to do is, I'm going to go back. I'm going to hit shift and out because we know now we have the white, but I need to grab the red as well because we need to group those together. And to make sure that it's all together, I just pulled it over. Now what I have to do is, I actually have to flip it horizontally. I have to flip it horizontally, as you can see there. I'm just going to bring it over. And you can do all the centering and all of that stuff. It's pretty easy to do that as well. And now I'm going to write some more words. It's going to say thank you for coming. And I want to change the color, the line style. And on this one, I'm also going to do an offset, but I want to make sure that we have enough, not enough room, but I want to make sure that it's that we have enough space. I'm going to bring it closer, a little bit closer. That way when I do my offset, it's not hitting the outside. So now we're going to offset it. Going to come down. And we can also do that one at 50. We're going to change the color to white. And then now what I want to do is I want to group these two together. I'm going to bring it back up. Okay, now it's there. Now what I'm going to do, it may not be in the right area because I've moved everything, but I'm just going to put the perforation where that line is. At this point, it really does not, to me, it doesn't matter. What matters is me showing you guys how it's done. As far as you making sure that everything is where it's supposed to do, you can use your alignment tool to do that. But this is basically to show you where everything goes and how it goes. Now, as you can see, it says TJ's 5th birthday. Thank you for coming. Now, for me, what I'm going to do is my colors are not going to come out vibrant because I'm using my sublimation printer. My regular printer does not have ink. I have to go to the store and get some ink. So I'm going to use my sublimation printer. But my sublimation printer is going to do the same exact thing as the regular printer. But before I do that, I need to go in and make sure that everything is the way that I want it. As you can see, if I did just this, it's going to cut everything. And I don't want it to cut everything. I want it to cut. I do want it to cut, but I don't want it to cut everything like that. So what I'm going to go back to is my design. I'm going to pull this perforation out, and I'm going to group all of this together. Now I'm going to put my perforation back, and it actually needs to come to the front, bring to front. Now we have the perforation. I'm going to go back to send. We got our material. We got our action. Uh-oh. I'm not sure why this part isn't lighting up. Oh, there it is. I'm only trying to cut the edge. So when I click cut edge, now it's only going to cut this edge and it's going to cut my perforation. As you can see here, that's all it's going to cut is the edge and the perforation. It's set up so that it only cuts the edge and the perforation. Now that it's set up to cut only the edge and perforation, what I'm going to do is I'm going to print it. I'm going to print it first. So I'm going to go back to my design because we have this set up. So now we need to print. All I need to do is go to my design and print. So I'm going to go to my printer, preferences, 8.5 by 11, okay, and then hit print. Now my colors are not going to be vibrant because I don't know if you know about sublimation. With sublimation, everything kind of is dull until it's heated. When it's heated, it gives off a vibrant color. So so for this, it's not going to be the colors you'd expect it to be. It's not going to be the colors you'd expect it to be. But it's going to do the same thing. I just want to show you guys what it does do or how it works. Right now it's printing. Okay, now that it has printed, as you can see, it's upside down. I have it upside down. It's just me. I'm the person that had it upside down so that you can see. So that you can actually see it. Because it's at the bottom, kind of like at the bottom. And remember, like I said, the colors are not vibrant as you would think. So now I'm going to put it on my silhouette cutting so that it can cut. I'm going to place it. I'm going to load. Now that it's loaded, okay. Now that it's loaded, I'm about to send it to the cutter. Everything's loaded. As you can see here, it's going to cut the way it's supposed to. The material is cardstock. My action, I only wanted to cut the edge, so I'm going to send it. I'm going to click send. Right now it's reading it. And then we're just waiting for it to cut. Once it cuts, now remember, if you're not using registration marks, that's entirely up to you. You don't have to use those perforations. You can just cut it by scissors or cut it with your swing line or whatever you have so that it cuts perfect. And if you don't do that, then you can actually get 4 on the page. That's basically up to you how you cut it, how you put everything together. That's basically up to you. You may want to do it according to the bags that you're going to use. That also is entirely up to you. You can change your width. You can change your height. You can change whatever you choose to change. This video is only to show you how it's done. As you can see here, and what I think happened is I still got something the wrong way. I still have something the wrong way. When I did the perforations, as you can see, I'm trying to bring it down so you can see my perforations. Okay. As you can see, when it did the perforation, is able to bend. When it bends, it's going to say thank you for coming on this one. When I flip it over, what I was supposed to do was I flipped it upside down. I flipped it the wrong way. I flipped the words the wrong way. I was supposed to flip vertical instead of horizontal. And I think that's where my problem came in at. But of course, you can play with it and you can see, but this is an actual bag topper. Like I said, you can make it, you can create it and make it how big you want it to be. You can create it and make it how big you want it to be. What I did, all I did was increased it. I increased my size so that you can see the better of the perforation. It folded pretty easy here. It folded pretty easy. Once it cut, it folded the perforation pretty easy. And this is actually the bag topper. Also the colors are dull because I used a Sawgrass ink printer that's used for sublimation, so of course it's dull, but that's quite all right. I just wanted you guys to see how it was done. And of course, it's my mistake. I flipped it wrong, but I think you guys get the idea. And just so that you know that it's the right way, you can always test. You can do like a little test. Right now, you have everything to where that you can design it and do whatever you need to do. But this was basically to show you how to create it. It's simple, real simple, and basically that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Tell people about me. I'll be doing more videos. My videos are on YouTube. They're under All Things Taught Silhouette Cameo. If you haven't subscribed already, please go and subscribe. And thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys watching. Thank you. Have a great day and a happy new year.